And we are here live for the next 2 hours, joined by none other than Tomahawk.
That's right, Tom A. Hawk, a magnificent solo artist from the United States of America. No, in fact, a rock supergroup comprising of members of the Jesus Lizard, the Melbournes, the Mark of Cain / Helmet, and Mr. Bungle / Phantomas, a very special band that have been touring with the Big Day Out 2002.
Replacing the band you just saw, Alien Ant Farm.
Who went home in tears.
Who went home in tears. If you have a question for the guys, phone us, fax us, email us, 1902 220 330. Send us a fax, send us an email. All these people are here to see it. We are very amped. Children, be afraid. Hide the kids. This is Tomahawk. God hates a coward.
To your mother, you can hear ocean roar. Sitting quiet in the corner, but you're not a record at all. God hates a cold sonny. Got to teach with your VCR. Watch another action movie and dream of me.
Tomahawk here, live on Bottom Art. Gentlemen, I know you're all sweaty and hot and beautifully smelly at the moment. Would you like to come and have a seat, have a bit of a chat to the fine people of Australia? Mike, Kevin, Dwayne, Big Bad John, please jump up over here onto the big couch. Come on, gentlemen. Onto the big red couch of glorious comfort, as sat upon by many of today's top pop and rock stars. Oh, someone got a light there? Cigarette lighter, please? No, there's one. Sorry, no, got to light the blunt early in the day. Thanks for joining us here on the return trip on the other side of the Big Day Out. There's many people who've been here all day wanting to ask a few questions. The first person with a question there would be Yumi, my dear friend. Yumi?
Thank you, and I've got a guy who's come a long way to join us today. Have you got a question for Tomahawk?
Basically, when you're in the studio, is it hard to bounce ideas off each other, or is it easy to record an album?
What do you think, Kevin?
There wasn't much bouncing going on. It was all pretty well worked out. We went in and just recorded. It wasn't really much.
The only thing that was really hard bouncing off each other was what kind of alcohol to drink that night.
It was pretty.
Martinis, Cosmopolitans, cognac.
Which alcohol produces the best rock, do you think?
Whiskey.
Whiskey.
What key is this?
We play best in the key of whiskey.
So there's a tradition that like the Jägermeister is the rock drink, but yeah, no, look at the faces, no.
That's for the Germans, yeah.
Okay.
Girlies.
Man, you look badass.
The
in that. Did you see that?
girlies.
As you do. Speaking of young ladies, Jabbertron.
Thank you, Andrew. Yes. A lot of people don't know that, but I'll be revealing that in my tell-all book later. We've got Luke Skywalker here who's got a question for the band Tomahawk. Luke, what is your question today?
My question is just why you only played 2 shows at the big day out and not the whole tour.
They didn't ask us to do any more.
Yeah, they didn't invite us.
We'd have done it all. They didn't ask.
And then we paid a bunch of people at Kneecap Alien Ant Farm where we got a couple shows.
So it was you! I was wondering why because there are a lot of people in
We know people in high places, obviously.
low places.
It's the street cops. We know the guys, the big guys.
It's the Adelaide connection. It's the Mark of Cain connection. You must have sent them in to do the business so you could do the home.
John and Kim did it.
So that they're going to retaliate as
The
they
guys
do.
from Kraftwerk?
Guys from Kraftwerk. Yumi has another question over there on the street of Bent.
Yes, I've got Kath just here who wants to ask a question.
Yep, I was just wondering what kind of music you guys like to listen to yourselves.
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash. What did we just buy?
What did we just buy? We bought Johnny Cash.
How about Johnny Cash, Dead Boys, Rolling Stones?
Velvet Underground, Rolling Stones. What'd you say?
What'd you
I
buy?
hate the Rolling Stones, by the way.
I bought a bunch of house.
This guy listens to, we won't go there.
Alt country and soundtracks.
Alt?
Okay, Dwayne, everyone knows exactly what you're talking about. What soundtrack did you buy?
Well, what I brought with me was the Lalo Schifrin Into the Dragon. That's a good one.
Very nice.
Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3. That's a good one.
Sorry.
I can't think of any more right now.
All right.
Crap.
See some Artie crap. Yeah, John Cage.
Some Artie crap.
Yeah.
Some John Zorn.
Some Zorna. I know him too well. I can't actually
busy.
listen to him. Yeah.
Too busy.
Too hard to
Too
get
busy.
right.
Too much information.
Just a quick message at home for the kids who may be thinking up taking up smoking to be like Mike.
Smoke your heads off. You look cool doing it.
But don't inhale.
Thanks very much. If you have do you have another question over there, Jabs, or are we all?
Yeah, we got
sorted?
Annie here. Well, she's gone shy now. I think she wanted to ask the Grammy-nominated Dwayne for a question. But are you? Hank Williams III, I believe, is the album now. I apologise for not knowing earlier. But Annie, do you have a question? Did you want to ask the band something?
I haven't got a question, but I just wanted to tell you guys I got tattooed to the music of your album today. It's my first tattoo, so I might let you know.
Bless your heart, child. What's the tattoo of?
It was really painful as well.
The album was painful, or the tattoo was painful?
A bit of both. I think the music sort of made me go a bit more crazy, but just thought I might tell you that it's all your fault. Really painful. No.
Show us your tattoo.
Can you show us the scar or the bandage over the tattoo, Annie?
I would like to point out this young lady is 16 and did get parental permission.
Yeah, wait a minute. He's wearing a diaper.
They're keen to see. What is the tattoo actually of, Annie?
It's an angel.
It's all bloody.
With
It's
fishnets and gloves.
Oh, an angel in fishnets.
Yeah.
Very tasteful. Very tasteful indeed. You're going to stick around and play some more. Bless you for doing it. Very, very kind of you indeed. If you have a question for the gentleman, you want to ask them a question, you can phone us, you can fax us, you can email us to this very laptop right here, where the people in the chat room are all considering taking up smoking. You look great in slow motion, by the way, and backwards too.
Backwards. Look at that. We should do that. Look at him.
Whoa. That's great.
You're busting your funky house disco moves behind the kid there, I can see. Gentlemen, we're going to play one of your favourite bands right now, Blink-182. I know that's one of your favourites there. First Date. This is for Vicky and Claire on the Gold Coast who've just faxed us. If you have a question for Tomahawk, now is your chance to ask them something. This is Bottom and we're live.
Looks like a toothpaste.
This is Vitamin on Channel D on your Thursday afternoon, and with us, apart from a very appreciative audience, is the band Tomahawk from the USA, consisting of Mike, Dwayne, John and Kevin, who are relaxing in magnificent beauty here. We've got a question for them on the phone. Of course, they're touring with the Big Day at 2002. That's over, but you can still see them at a few select dates tonight in Sydney in the Metro, then a show in Brisbane, I believe, and then they're off to Europe. So if you've got the funds, Europe is the place to see them. But Todd is joining us on the line right now. Todd, good afternoon.
Hey, Jabba, how's it going?
Not bad, Todd. Yourself?
No, not too bad at all, man.
That's good. Now, what is your question for Tomahawk?
I was actually wondering, they're all veterans of the music industry. They've all put, everything into what they do. And I'm wondering how it makes them feel when they see all these bands like Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, all the new metal phase come up and just...
Stop.
and just make all this money off really bad music and make all these fans when these guys have put everything into it?
That's a great question, Ty. That's a question a lot of people ask. Is bands that were pioneers, they didn't make the money. Now they, you guys are still around, and there's other people that have.
There's lots of bad accountants in the world and bad bankers and things like that. Why shouldn't there be bad musicians? Well,
you got your own label.
That's the way it goes.
You must have done all right. Dwayne nominated for Grammy. You must be all right. John affords to live in New York. Kevin, a punk rock legend. I mean, are you guys well off? Is this just some kind of luxury holiday tour?
It doesn't bother me if other people make money. It bothers me that other people suck. They're crapping all over what we're doing. I don't care if they make money.
They make it harder for the rest of us.
There's a tradition of bad rock music. I mean, at the same time you had Elvis Presley and Jerry Lee Lewis, you had Fabian and people like that. You know what I mean? There's just always going to be that.
So you have, contemporaries that you kind of loathe. Do you ever tour with people that you hate?
Just them.
Just them.
Yeah, right. That's why we formed this band.
Fair enough. They were at the bottom of the list, I believe. Nick is on the line in Melbourne. Nick, what is your question for Tomahawk?
Oh, hey, I was just wondering whether you guys are going to focus on Tomahawk for a while or whether you're going to go back and focus on your other projects like Mr. Bungle.
Nick, get your baby brother away from the phone. He's freaking us out.
Yeah, sorry about that. Did you get that?
Dude.
It's all right.
So when are you going to focus on Tomahawk, I believe?
What the hell are we doing right now?
Exactly. Nick,
Back to your other bands after a little while, like Mr. Bungle and Mark
Buddy.
He's saying you're doing too much, basically. If you could put aside the other projects...
Oh, he hates everything else we do, is that what you're saying?
Not a fan at all.
Oh, well,
Too bad you can always eat me, Nick.
Yep. You can try blowing me, Nick.
Nick, does that sound appetizing?
Yeah, it does.
Well, there you have it.
I think you've managed to keep another fan there.
Good sport.
Good play. Andrew, I believe, has a question from someone in the crowd.
Young Lexi is very inquisitive this afternoon, Lexi.
My question's a little bit not as deep as the other one, but what's with the police uniforms? Is there any reason behind that, or?
We're just trying to cop the style, basically, of our gracious host here.
Yeah, we're imitating.
We're just imitating. Hairnet.
Just looks cool.
It just looks cool. Yeah. And functional.
And
functional. It's very functional. It keeps this greasy mess out of my face.
Right. Okay, well, that's that.
There you go. Thank you very much, Lexi, for your question.
And it gets me all the Mexican groupies.
Do we have any Mexicans here today?
Show her your teeth.
We're kind of light on Mexicans, Mike.
Look at his teeth.
You didn't have that on Friday. He's been to the dentist since he's been here. Yumi has a question in the crowd as well.
That's right. This is Angie.
Hey, I was just wondering, what is one question that you guys have always wanted to be asked in an interview but never have?
That's it.
I don't know, John, what do you think?
I don't know. Jesus. How much money do you want?
Yeah. How much money can I give you? That's the one question over.
Where do I put these millions of dollars? Which pocket would you like them in?
Have you had any driving experiences in Australia since you've been here, or ever?
Let us drive.
They won't let you drive. Dwayne?
Almost none. We seem to fly everywhere.
Yeah?
So awful. Flying and flying.
I believe you have had a previous incident in Australia involving some type of Holden vehicle.
That's right. This gal I know borrowed a vintage Holden for the night. It stalled on a hill. I suggested in my brilliance that she get behind the wheel and I'll get out and give it a push if she put it in neutral, and then that would start it again. And of course it went down the hill and smashed into a car. Excellent. Darn.
And the police were called, and hence your tribute today to the Australian Police Services via the New York Police Department and the State Rail Authority and the San Francisco Authority. Very interesting. Now, we got another question. Yumi, I believe.
This is Steve.
Yeah, guys, just wanted to ask you, in your opinion as the band, what separates for you a great gig from a crap gig?
Tough to tell, you know. You could drink all the right alcohol, you know, play all the right notes, and the show could still suck. It's like little fairy dust that floats around. Sometimes you find it, and other times, most of the time, you don't.
It's a crapshoot.
So, I guess for me it's when the sound is really good, everybody's playing good, the crowd's into it. But you know, those are pretty big variables.
Yeah. It's the planets all kind of have to align. You know, it's a crapshoot. It's like Vegas.
Are you feeling confident about the shows tonight and tomorrow night and for the rest of the week?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. John,
sure.
Coming at you. Okay, before we wrap it up, we got a fax here from Pete Ackley in Caves Beach. This is for Mr. Mike Patterson, which has become an in joke here on Channel V after you were interviewed by a young man we worked with.
Was that
was Mike.
other guy? Yeah.
That was Mike, who people are watching on a big screen right now in Western Australia. What was it like working with Max Cavalero, who people have turned on since he left Sepultura on the Roots album back in 1996?
They've turned on him?
Apparently so. Look at this crowd here. They go, we hate that guy.
Really?
Max Cavalero.
Interesting.
What was it like working with Max?
What was it like working with him? Great. He's really into voodoo. He did all these, he cured a bunch of my ills with some Brazilian voodoo stuff. He's great.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Would you work with him again?
Good guy, sure. I don't know if I'd work with him again, but I'd visit him, let him do my herbal services.
As a herbalist.
Yeah, an herbalist.
Yeah, fair enough.
There you go.
Well, John, Kevin, you have been rather quiet this evening. Yeah. You've been so quiet. You've been soft. But
Sorry?
No. Not soft at all. You're the hard man of rock. But can we play a song for you? This is a request show. If you want to make a request tonight, 190-222-330 is the number to play. John, Kevin, is there a song we can play for you?
Lay it on him.
I think we can see Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast.
No, I'm afraid not.
Good man.
We have a bit of Britney Spears all queued up, especially for
Notice how far
Tomahawk.
apart her eyes are?
I'm from Tasmania. If you could please thank our band, Tomahawk. They're going to perform another live song for us. This is Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast, especially for Tomahawk.
For the devil sends the beast with wrath, because he knows the time is short. Let him who hath understanding reckon the number of the beast, for it is...
For the final bus show for quite a while, so don't miss it.
Huge sense of excitement here as one of the bands has brought out lots of fans on the Adelaide and Perth legs of the Big Day Out play live here at Barterman this Wednesday afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce a song called Flashback live today from Tomahawk.
Flashback, jaws seem to hide the scene. We dreamed of better things in the tall weeds. I walked with you. Flashback, silhouette for the memory. Your eyes are getting healthy. When I speak, you sleep on cue. Matchbooks, butterflies, no names. The grass was wet. I rode with you. Flashback, tentacles of my spirit glow. Sit back, relax, and hope. The second time ain't like the first.
Oh, Shazzy. What do you reckon of that, little Shazzy?
Bloody sensational, Andrew. Bloody sensational. Tomahawk live here on Bottom on Channel V on your Wednesday afternoon. A song called Flashback, not Flashdance. A song they had previously considered covering but decided not to, which is probably a good idea. Flashback from their self-titled debut album. They are touring Australia at the moment. They just finished up with the Big Day Out 2002. If you want their dates, channelv.com.au if you want to see them in the flesh. Again, and in-store at Utopia Records on George Street in Sydney tomorrow at 4 o'clock. But please, could you give it up for Tomahawk? Very sensational, special stuff.
If you...
Yeah.
Are you guys lost yet? Oh, or is this what you call fun in Melbourne? Is this fun? Oh, okay. I'm from another part of the world, so pardonnez-moi. the climate, Melbourne? What do you think down there, Mr. Bearded One? Oh, wise man from Melbourne. Are you having a good time? Oh, really? What about you, Mr. Wise One with a video camera with a red light on over here? Whoa! Same. Actually, I've spotted quite a celebrity here in the audience tonight. She's right up here in the front row, and I don't know why she likes Tomahawk. But ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know her down here. She's quite a celebrity in America. Ladies and gentlemen, she's got blonde hair. She's right here. She was married to a famous televangelist in America. Famous televangelist in America. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Tammy Faye Baker! All right, Tammy Faye, what would you like to hear? What would you like to hear?
I think she said Laredo.
I think she said do it all for the nookie. Do you know what nookie means, girlfriend? How about, what's another modern classic? Huh? What's another modern classic, huh? I can't think of none better than Did It All for the Nookie. All right, Tammy. You just calm down, okay? Or I'm gonna have my boy throw you out. Would you like to hear a Jennifer Lopez song? All right, security, throw that girl out, please. Hey. Waiter, check, please. Check, please. But first of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Miguel, and these are my bitches. Where's your girl? Thank you. Over here on the bass, ladies and gentlemen, he's the LA player. Pussy Surveyor! Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kevin. Over here behind me on drums. The beat provider. Sucker MCs call him Sire. Never fucked a bitch unless he satisfied her. From New York City, Mr. Jones Daniel. And over here on guitar, if you don't like this band, you can blame it on him, ladies and gentlemen. The man responsible for this hideous monstrosity known as Tomahawk. That's right. Let me think about a rhyme for him. Let me think. He's the Nashville hobo. That's all I can think of. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dwayne Dennison. And now that my rap career is on the line, we're going to start another song. Thank you for coming. We'll see you later. Ciao, ciao. Night. Melbourne. I thought of a rap for him, by the way. I thought of a rap for our guitar player. You want to hear it? Ladies, he's a real hard stopper. The 6-string rocker. He looks like your grandpa, but he's down with Chopper. Now I got you, motherfucker. I'm still thinking of a rap for you, so shut up, skinhead. Are you guys ready for a little ballad? Then shut up! In every dream home, a heartache, and every staircase brings me further from heaven. Is there a heaven? I'd like to think so. Standards of living, they're rising daily. But home, oh sweet home, it's only a saying. From Melbourne to Fawcett, a small town apartment. The cottage is pretty, the main house a palace. Penthouse perfection, but what goes on, what to do there, that you pray there. Open plan living, bungalow and style. Its comforts seems so essential, but you may order a plain wrapper, baby. Your skin is like vinyl, the perfect companion. asked for it. Okay, boys, show them how it's done. Show them how it's done. Because my angel eyes ain't so drink all the cheers. Oh, do anything you see. That's right, dude. Australians will take in the lives of the Americans. Pardon me, but I gotta run. The facts are constantly clear.
And on the line, right now, we could have the people who helped bring Mr. Bungle over. Agatha and Simone. Who do we have here? Hello?
Simone here, hi.
Hello, Simone?
Yes, it's me, Simone.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Yes, fine. Where are you?
We're in Adelaide right now.
Following Bungle?
Yeah, we've got a gig in a couple of hours, I think.
Oh, we've got a gig.
Yeah, me and Agatha. I've got a gig to go to.
I see. You're following them to every single gig?
Yeah.
You're crazy. Crazy.
We're eager.
Yeah, and so you organised a big petition for this, did you?
Yeah, because we were really not thinking they were ever going to come. So
Yeah.
we got together and we put this petition, and about 1,700 people signed it, and we posted it to them, and now they're here. But I'm not sure if that's why they came, but they came
Oh,
anyway.
of course it is. It worked. And you got in contact with them and everything on the telephone and the internet?
Yeah, we got in contact with Danny, and we've been friends with him since then. And we had a good time on Wednesday night show.
Yeah, that was so intense.
Wasn't it great?
That was full on.
Oh, unreal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that the crowds were disappointed, some of the thrash funk fans, that they weren't playing their old album?
I thought that they would be. I thought they'd be all wanting Girls of Porn and stuff like that. But
Mm.
they were actually I thought they seemed to be pretty happy with it.
Very receptive.
Yeah.
And so you've met them and hung out with them and stuff?
Yeah. We've talked to a few of them, and yeah, that's been pretty cool. They're really nice guys.
Can you say hi to them?
Pardon?
Can you say hi to them for me?
I will, okay.
And the rest of Australia, all the Bungle fans
Danny
here?
gave me that little card that you signed for me.
Yay! Dim Sim. Thank you, Simone.
Would you like to talk to Agatha now?
Yes, please. Can she just throw to the story, please?
Pardon?
Can she please throw to the story?
She can indeed. Here she is.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Simone.
Hello there.
Hi, Agatha. Can you please
Hi.
throw to the Bungle story for me?
Go over it.
Throw to it. Say, this is Mr. Bungle at Luna Park with Dylan.
This is Mr. Bungle at Luna Park with Dylan.
They are all the way from San Francisco in the US of A. Here, gracing the land of green and gold with their presence for the first time ever. They are the unconventional. They are the uncategorizable. They are Mr. Bungle. And let's right now go and see if they'll let us into their world of the bizarre and the macabre. Come this way.
Hello, my name is Trey, from Mr. Bungle.
I am Bear, and I wear trendy glasses.
I'm feeling that.
So, I'd like to talk to Mr. Bungle of Masks. Are you embarrassed by something?
Just to be with each other, mostly.
Really?
Yeah. Not actually embarrassed of anything that we're performing.
No, I wouldn't be.
Wouldn't all want to be seen in one place at one time.
That's the thing. And that's why you're staying in different hotels while you're here.
Well, this many Americans at once is pretty embarrassing, and no matter how you do it. I mean, 5 on a basketball court, that's not that bad. There's 6 or 7 of us on stage.
Yeah.
Kind of pushing it.
Are you happy with your name as a band, Mr. Bungle?
No.
Did you ever want to change that?
Yes.
How come?
That's the name of a group, like when you're 60, 65 and you want to have a big band reunion, you call it Mr. Bungle.
See, Mr. Bungle is actually a character, a cartoon character, who helps us learn how to comb our hair. This is very, very much like a UFO we're sitting on here. Disco volante, in Italian, means flying disc. Have you ever been abducted?
Technically, no.
Told me you had.
No, that's Theo.
Yeah, Theo has absolutely been abducted.
Right. How do you know this?
Because of his disappearance for, I think it was 5 to 6 hours.
Oh, really?
After a band rehearsal one night. And we were all out on my lawn, and the next thing he remembered, he sort of disappeared. The next thing he remembered was waking up at home, which was 7 miles away, kind of in the country.
And he disappears every once in a while now, but it's more his choice. He just kind of.
We don't know that. That could be part of his daily job.
Do you want to talk about vocals?
Yeah, we can.
Really?
Yeah.
How much do you like explaining?
Yeah. Let's talk about vocals.
As a group, the sounds of what the voice can do.
A lot. We try to use it as an instrument.
A tool.
Yeah. And Mike is willing to do as much as the rest of us, as far as manipulating sounds and doing all that kind of stuff.
It's really hard to talk to a shirt. We've moved through 2 albums here. We've moved through Mr. Bungle and then Disco Volante. Can the fans keep up?
Probably not.
Do you mind?
Well, there's a lot of different kinds of fans. There's a lot of different varieties of people in the world.
Do you like Mr. Bungle?
Yeah, some do, some don't. And they'll always be changing, and that's really great.
So it is an evolving process. Even the fan base is evolving.
Yeah, always.
What about the music?
The second album's the hardest.
I think the second is the hardest. That's sophomoric effort.
How come it was so hard?
It
wasn't hard, but it has a reputation of being the difficult one to get over.
That's the experimental progressive record that has nothing really worth listening on it usually.
So we have that grace period there, 3 or 4 years. Most bands are forced to put it out within a year or so, and they don't really have enough time to either match what they had on the first one or to come up with something new.
Of course, that doesn't mean we were working on it all that time.
All aboard the Bungle Express!
two of the guys from Bungle when they were in Australia very recently, and Klondike Cat was even able to make a brief appearance. Let's take a look now at not just the Bungle clip, not just more of that footage, but us talking to Mr. Bungle. Hey, Don, Jepatron here on behalf of the Australian Federal Police, bringing you the facts about Mr. Bungle. We have here Trey and Danny, two of the members from the band, guitar and drums, and they're here to talk shop. How are you guys?
Okay. I'm a little afraid to talk sharks, but let's go.
Okay, well, just shop. Well, we can talk about sharks if you want. You know, talk shop, the rock, that kind of thing. How on earth the people that are in the band managed to play live the stuff that you've recorded on Disco Volante or Volante? How does that happen? How long, you know, how much build-up was there to be able to play live what you do on the record?
I sat in one room and programmed a sampler for about a month and a half. I just tested out a bunch of different drum machines until I found one that I liked. The horn players went through about 45 reeds each. Mike did some vocal lessons for about a year and a half, did some opera studies, and Trevor just did his thing.
Is there, you know, a big preparation before each gig, a big psych up of, you know, chanting in the room?
Meeting, yeah, little pep meeting. Two male cheerleaders come up. They're older. They're 60, 65 years old, but they get us going. Short skirts.
Just short skirts. Now, there's still a lot of miming going on in the band. That's I've been reading a lot about that. That the rest of the band apparently just miming.
Oh yeah, the miming. Yeah.
Yeah, that's still going on.
Yeah,
Actually, we used to bring a mime troupe with us, but we just decided to learn how to mime ourselves.
Yeah.
So we're doing a lot of that now.
Because it's just, yeah, I mean, on the album, you'd never know you were miming. It's, you know, but live.
The Perth show was easy because all the, you know, the people there did all the miming for us.
There's many people that know Bungle songs that are able to, you know, nod their head at the right moments when the changes occur.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm totally turned on by it. Sorry, I'm just trying to pick up an ant.
And what about you, Trey?
Well, a lot of people know a lot of the music. A lot of people know a lot of the old songs and want us to play the old songs. So we were thinking about, since we haven't played any of them in 4 years, maybe trying to play some and not rehearsing it, see what that sounded like. We play one or two of them.
We figure the older the crowd, the more likely they're going to want to hear the old stuff because they're that old. The young crowds, shit, they were like 5 when that first record came out, so they probably didn't really like it.
That's true.
They're the mature crowd, somehow.
The mature crowd. They are better listeners to the young crowd.
That's right. Tell them about the Adelaide show.
What happened there?
Remember the, can you hear me?
What?
Can you hear me?
You speak up a little bit?
The Adelaide show, do you remember the All Ages Adelaide show? The crowd reaction.
Oh yeah, and the Adelaide show. Yeah, the young kids were great. The 18 and under crowd was the most attentive and fun crowd to play to that we've ever had, probably. And then the next crowd was, they were all older and more sophisticated and drunk and screaming over top of everything, which is just fine, but it's a different kind of show, probably more boring, because we have to just sit there and kind of wait for people to shut up. It's more boring. If they're quiet and more attentive, we'll end up probably doing more interesting things.
If you don't know Bungle, it would probably be hard to pick whether, like, you guys are totally serious or totally kidding and whether the music just works randomly. But after a few listens, you know, you can kind of hear it.
Pretty obvious we're just kidding.
Yeah.
About everything.
That's what I thought. Does much go into the, you know, the lights and the whole overall effect? I mean, Bungle sounds like drug music. Is that kind of prevalent at the gigs?
It's probably a misconception. It's not really drug music.
No, that's fine.
No, we don't have a lighting guy. Actually, I think if we could have designed our own lighting scheme, it would have been probably one big blank bulb hanging on stage. Hey, how's it going, Klondike Cat? This is my cat.
Oh wow! What's his name?
This is Klondike Cat. How are you? He was a.
I feel fine.
Do you need your milk or your food or anything?
Do you guys tour with any other pets?
Do you bring your cobra?
Yeah, actually I did. I brought him in a little plastic bag.
come to our next tour. Usually there's not as many the second time we come back somewhere.
Here you'll find a totally different story of people that the first time went, who? Who are Mr. Bungle? And the second time, oh mate, you're going to see Bungle tonight? Yeah. Yeah, no, Bungle, yeah. Oh, that's Mike Patton, the triangle player from Poison. Yeah, it's his band.
That's a good gig. I didn't know he picked that up.
All right, well, I won't take any more of your precious dinner time. Thank you, Crazy Cat. It wasn't Crazy Cat. What was it? Klondike Cat. Damn. And thank you, Danny. And thank you, Trey.
Thank you very much.